15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football.
What's up, kinfolk? Welcome back to Bubba and the Old Man. Today, I am giving my official way too early pre-spring offensive depth chart prediction. Starting off at quarterback, as everybody typically does with their depth charts, I have Jackson Arnold as the first string quarterback. Second string, it was tough for me. I do have Ashton Daniels currently with a slight edge. The thing that makes this interesting is that Deuce Knight will be here in spring. Ashton Daniels will not. Deuce Knight will be getting all the second string reps. I know we just picked up a quarterback today. He was a kid that was at South Carolina, transferred to Auburn as a student, did not play football last year. But I'm not really factoring him in. I believe he's a non-scholarship guy right now. Good depth, though. Good to have him in for spring. But Deuce Knight having that 3 or 4 month head start on the playbook and live reps, I think is massive, right? So I could see a legitimate argument for having Deuce Knight at 2, and that's why I have it Ashton Daniels or Deuce Knight currently. Obviously, the starter is going to be Jackson Arnold. I don't think anybody would contest me on that. Next up at running back, this is another one that was really, really difficult for me because I view all three of these guys in the same realm of player, right? Now, they're not the same style of player. Damari Alston, probably your most well-rounded guy. He's solid in pass pro. He's got good vision. He's an okay tackle breaker, right? He's a solid receiver. Has fumbling problems, though, right? Darrell Robinson is the most steady back of the bunch. I really like his vision. He's really good in pass protection. At least he was at the G5 level, right? And I think he's just your consistent guy. So I could see him being maybe the main guy. And, Damari and Jeremiah splitting the backup reps. And Jeremiah I view as your change of pace guy, right? He's not this tackle breaker, right? He's not this guy who's great between the tackles. He's bad in pass protection, but you can use him in a multitude of ways, all right? So that's why I don't have him, higher up on the depth chart, because he is the most talented guy of the bunch. The reason I have Damari as the starter is because I'm a huge Damari fan. I really like what I've seen from him so far outside of the fumbling issues. He's a patient runner, right? He's got really good vision. He's not as patient as Darrell Robinson. I've seen this guy do Le'Veon Bell type, Kerryon Johnson type in the backfield before he hit the hole. But, all three of these guys I think will get a fair share of touches. But if I had to guess right now, I'd have Damari as the starter. All right, now I don't know why I went in this specific order, but next up we got left tackle. This is cemented, no question about it. Xavier Chaplin's your starter, barring any injury. Tyler Johnson's your backup. And this is a really good position to be in for Auburn. Tyler Johnson started games for you last year, played real snaps for you last year. This gives him more time to develop. Xavier Chaplin's a monster. He's an NFL player. He played like it at Virginia Tech. He had a really good game against Clemson. I've broken down many games of his. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He is fundamentally sound in pass protection and in the run game. So this is a position that Auburn should be set at for next year. And Tyler Johnson's a guy, high ceiling, really good player. I think he's about 6'5.5", over 300 pounds. He's very athletic. Just needs some time. Really needs some time. He's only going into his third year in a college program, and he was a very raw prospect coming out of high school. Did not have a lot of muscle definition. Needed to get rid of a little bit of bad weight. But, really, this is a guy that could take the next step, and next season, after this next season, could be legitimately your starting left tackle. Left guard, all right, look, I had a tough time deciding here whether to slide Dylan Wade out to tackle or keep him at guard. His pro position is guard. The issue is he's a better college tackle than he is a college guard. So eventually I just decided to go chalk here and assume that, with the pickup of Mason Murphy and the presumed return of Isaiah Miller, Dylan Wade's going to stick at guard. But I have Dylan Wade starting at left guard. I have Braden Joyner backing him up, a guy who had a really solid redshirt freshman season. Honestly, a guy whose stock probably fell the most in the portal because he was a legit starter, he played like a legit SEC guard last year. Third string, we got Tate Johnson, just a veteran, right? If I was him, I would have transferred. He could have went and started at a G5 school for sure. Gives you quality depth here at left guard. And Jacoby Ward would be fourth here, but I didn't go 4 deep here. Yeah, this is a position where if Dylan Wade sticks here, it's pretty well cemented, and Braden Joyner gives you one of the best backup guard options in the conference. This is a pretty solid position group here. All right, at center, zero suspense here. It's Connor Lew. He's been starting since like the 4th game of his freshman year, one of the best in the conference at his job. Back up, you have either Tate Johnson or Braden Joyner. They'll battle it out, I'm sure, and Dylan Senda, I'm sure, will be in there as well. Again, did not go 4 deep. So, also, Kale Ellis, an absolute monster of a human being, but I don't expect him to play this year. I'm pretty sure he's going to redshirt, a guy who reclassified to bolster this offensive line class. But having this level of quality, I want you to look at the screen right now. I'd be surprised if you weren't, but if you got earbuds in and you're not at work or something, look at the screen. You have 3 guys right here who have started games for you at this position. Well, Braden Joyner at guard. But you have experienced quality depth here. I didn't just say experienced depth, quality depth. These are guys who have all played well for you at points, right? Obviously, Braden Joyner more so than Tate Johnson. But having this in this conference is arguably the most important thing. Having experienced quality depth in the trenches. And we have that at all 5 positions along the offensive line. All right, at right guard, you have returning starter, again, zero suspense, Jeremiah Wright coming back, right guard. A guy who took a major step forward last year, a guy who really improved in pass protection. Now, I would have probably had Braden Joyner as the backup here, but I didn't want to, be redundant. I want to talk about some more guys also. DeAndre Carter, second string, tie buster, a guy who I'm a huge fan of, arguably my favorite offensive line recruit from this class, an incredible athlete. Just get him in the weight training program. This kid's going to be a monster. But DeAndre Carter is a guy who a lot of people were expecting to step up and take a starting job this year. Obviously, it doesn't look like that's going to happen with the returning guys. But again, that's high-level depth right there. DeAndre Carter, big-time recruit coming out of high school. I think it was Mater Dei or something like that. But really solid position group here as well. Jeremiah Wright coming back was a big win for this staff. Great job by Jake Thornton getting this kid back. At right tackle, the position that's probably the most in flux. I have 5 names listed here, by the way. Xavion Miller is assumed to be returning, but that is not 100% right now. That's why I talked about Dylan Wade moving out to tackle, because I've made this point clear. Not the biggest Mason Murphy fan in the world. All right, he gives you experience at multiple different positions. I believe he could play 4 positions along the offensive line, both guard spots, both tackle spots. He's done it. I don't think you can have a below average tackle and make it in the SEC. That's why Xavion Miller is such a big deal here. You need to go and you need to pull him back into the fold. At worst, it gives Mason Murphy somebody to battle it out with. But if Xavion Miller does not return, I'm scooting Dylan Wade out to right tackle, and Braden Joyner and DeAndre Carter will battle for the left guard spot. Brody Shull, incredible athlete. Coach Freeze said he expects him to push for playing time. I'm not sure about that. To me, he needs some time. And then, I have Favor Edwards' name put together. My bad. But Seth Wilfred, JUCO pickup last year. Solid prospect. Favor Edwin, all athlete right now. This is probably your weakest position in terms of quality player. And that is definitely concerning, but you can supplement that. All right, I combined these two so the part of the video wouldn't be too long, but you got your Y tight end and your U tight end. If you don't know Y tight end is your typically remove tight end, your big slot. At Y tight end, we have Preston Howard, Hollis Davidson, and Rico Walker. Not the strongest group of guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm a big Hollis Davidson fan, but relying on freshmen is not something that I love. At U tight end, this is your inline blocking tight end. All right, think of Y tight end as Travis Kelce, and your U tight end is Jason Witten. That's the prototype. U tight end, we got Brandon Frazier and Ryan G. Again, not the strongest position, although I am a big fan of Brandon Frazier, and I think he's going to have a really good year this year. Not much to talk about here. Now to the fun stuff. X, wide receiver. That's your most outside left receiver typically in your base formation. You got Cam Coleman, Horatio Fields, Perry Thompson, and Eric Smith. This is a very, very strong group of cats, right? Oh, Eric Smith. I think I said Derek, my bad. But Cam Coleman, obviously, superstar freshman phenom. Had a really good end of his season last year. He has solidified that spot. Horatio Fields is a versatile guy. He can play multiple positions. He even played slot at Wake Forest. He's a big body, point of attack guy. Perry Thompson, obviously, we all know about Perry Thompson. Incredible athlete. Needs a lot of work. He needs to improve a lot. And then Eric Smith is a guy who I believe will redshirt, but he's got some talent. He has some drop issues, some concentration drop issues. He's not the greatest athlete. He's solid. But I believe he can grow into a Camden Brown type player. At Z, again, typical formations. He's your most outside to the right guy. Eric Singleton Jr., I do have him as the Z receiver as of right now. Perry Thompson takes that step up. He slides into the slot, but this is a guy who can play all three spots, honestly. This is an NFL wide receiver. He had late second-round draft grades going into next year. Perry Thompson, the backup, I really want to see him take a big step forward in this offseason. He needs a lot of work. He's a guy who's all athlete as of right now. You saw it in games last year. He's a really good blocker, by the way, which is great to see. He's a willing blocker. But you saw the issues in week 1 with route running. So when we got into SEC play and he was getting reps, he struggled to get open, right? Because he needs development. I wouldn't just assume he's going to come up and snatch that starting job. I said coming out of high school, he needs a year. Give him some time. Third string Sam Turner. I love me some Sam Turner, man. Just a gritty, tough player, really good hands, and he's one of the more college-ready. He's probably the most college-ready guy of all the receivers in this past class, so I expect him to get some real PT here at the Z. All right, at F receiver, F slot, whatever you want to call it. Starting, I have Malcolm Simmons. Again, if Eric Singleton can play here too, I didn't put him on the depth chart because that goes without saying. Second up, we have Bryce Kane, incredible athlete. And then third, we have Derek Smith. I don't really know where to put Derek Smith because in high school he played outside. I think to get him on the field, you probably need to play him inside this season. Use motion, get him free releases. I don't know how he's going to work getting off press as a true freshman at this level, especially with how raw he is. But Malcolm Simmons obviously had an incredible year last year. Had nearly 500 yards. Really good player. Really good player. And I think coming into this next season, if he improves and he works on some of the fundamental issues he had. He had 2 drops on orbit screens in the Iron Bowl. So if he could just improve those things, he could be an NFL guy as well. Just very talented.
Selena, go! Oh. Stop!